Coming up on the news this morning, President Tinubu orders comprehensive reform of Nigerian football. Emmanuel Ikpeme to oversee NFF on interim basis following Gusau's resignation. Plus, Nigeria Golf Federation Summit ends in Abuja. Hello there, and many thanks for joining us on the news this morning. I am Bade Adeleye. Now, President Bola Tinubu has directed a comprehensive reform of the Nigerian football system to overcome repeated failures to qualify for major regional, continental, and world tournaments. The president noted that while other sports had recorded meaningful progress since the reset of the sports sector under the re-established National Sports Commission, football has continued to struggle because of structural weaknesses within the system. President Tinubu directed the chairman of the National Sports Commission to work with the NFF Secretariat and relevant football stakeholders to ensure continuity in essential football administration and facilitate a broad consultative reform process. The process will include appropriate engagement with FIFA and CAF while safeguarding Nigeria's obligations within the international football framework. The president called on football stakeholders and Nigerians to support the transition and work together to build a stronger, more accountable and successful football system. Now, Nigeria's football administration is facing a major shake-up with NFF President Ibrahim Musa Gusau, General Secretary Mohammed Sanusi, and members of the Executive Committee resigning. The development follows mounting pressure over the country's recent football setbacks and growing calls for comprehensive reforms. Ochengbede tells us more.
The leadership of the Nigerian Football Federation has suffered a major shake-up, with President Ibrahim Musa Gusau, General Secretary Mohammed Sanusi, and member of the NFF Executive Committee resigning from their positions. Gusau announced his resignation on Thursday in Abuja, bringing his tenure to an end amid mounting pressure over the state of Nigerian football. The development comes after a series of setbacks that has intensified call for a change in the administration of Nigerian football. The Super Eagles failed to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, while the Super Falcons suffer an even more historic setback, missing the 2027 Women's World Cup for the first time since the competition began in 1991. At youth level, Nigeria's Golden Eaglet have also missed 3 consecutive editions of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, adding to concern over the country's football development structure. For many Nigerians, however, the crisis goes beyond result on the pitch. The mounting pressure eventually translated into calls for the NFF leadership to resign and make way for a fresh direction. Gusau, who was elected in September 2022, said his decision followed consultation with his family, friends, and stakeholders, adding that he believes stepping aside will allow for a comprehensive and orderly reform of Nigerian football.
As Nigerians, nobody is greater than this country, and we all love our country, and we all love the progress of our country. At least there are so many people that can do. So we make a lot of consultation to family, friends, stakeholders, and all of them. And I just want to tell you, I decided to resign my position as the president of NFF.
With the NFF leadership exiting office, attention now shifts to maintaining the Federation's essential function, protecting Nigerians' international obligation, and ensuring that the transition does not disrupt the national teams or domestic competitions.
We could already see that this was coming, especially because of the back-to-back misses for Nigeria at the World Cup, and then the Super Falcons, who have been, our saving grace follow the same pathway with the Super Eagles.
Best. The president has tried his best, but with the kind of the results that we are getting, especially the national team, that Nigeria flag will not be flying at the World Cup, it's not something that we want.
It is in this light that President Bola Tinubu has already directed the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, to work with the NFF Secretariat and football stakeholders to ensure continuity while a comprehensive reform process gets underway. The president said the reform must address governance, administration, stakeholders representation, player development pathway, domestic competition, and accountability. The way forward, therefore, will require more than just simply changing the names at the top. For a country blessed with enormous football talent and a passionate fan base, the current crisis represents both a setback and an opportunity. The resignation of Gusau-led administration may close one chapter, but Nigerians will now be looking for a concrete reforms, credible leadership, and more importantly, result that restores the country's place among African football powerhouse. In Abuja, Oche Ngbedi, NTA News.
Many thanks, Oche. Now, Nigeria Women Football League champions Edo Queens FC on Thursday defeated their Ivorian counterparts, ASEC Mimosas, 3-1 in their second match of the 2026 CAF Women's Champions League qualifiers to secure their quarterfinal bet. And of course, Oluwakemi Adegbuyi scored the first goal in the 23rd minute of the game to boost the confidence of her side. And of course, Donso Atume increased the tally in the 43rd minute to help Edo Queens go into the halftime break with 2-0 up. And of course, they got that over the Cote Ivorian champions. ASEC Mimosas fought back in the second half and pulled a goal back to reduce the deficit, thereby putting pressure on Edo Queens. Edo Queens, however, remained composed and determined as Oluebube Umajiako sealed the victory in the 89th minute when she found the back of the net to make it 3-1 at full time. The emphatic victory ensured Edo Queens qualification for the semi-finals of the tournament with a game to spare in Group B. Edo Queens began the WAFU B qualifying campaign on Monday with a 7-0 thrashing of AS Gade National of Niger Republic. They topped the group with 6 points and 10 goals. Of course, the Nigerians will now face Amped Dakoa Ladies of Ghana as the last opponents in Group B. And of course, away from Africa now, Paris Saint-Germain have been drawn against Barcelona, Manchester City and Aston Villa among their 8 opponents in the season's UEFA Champions League league phase. And of course, PSG, who defeated Arsenal on penalties in May to retain the trophy, will host Barcelona, Roma, Turkish champions Galatasaray, and Slovakia's Slovan Bratislava. Last season's runners-up, Arsenal, will welcome Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Lille, and Azerbaijan Sabah. Manchester United face a challenging campaign with home fixtures against Bayern Munich, AS Roma, RB Leipzig, and Sabah, alongside difficult away trips to Atletico Madrid, Sporting CP, Villarreal, and Como. The league phase is scheduled to begin from September 8 to 10, with the final matches set for late January. UEFA is expected to release the full fixture on Saturday. Let's turn attention to golf now, as the second Nigeria Golf Federation Summit for stakeholders and golfers has ended in Abuja, with participants resolving to adopt new and sustainable strategies for the development of golf in Nigeria. The two-day summit, themed Finding the Fairway, Sustainable Growth and Youth Development, brought together key stakeholders to address grassroots development, youth competitions, and the need to align Nigerian golf with international best practices. Yours truly completes the story. Golf stakeholders have renewed their commitment to taking the sport to greater heights in Nigeria. The resolution came at the end of the second Nigeria Golf Federation Summit in Abuja, which brought together captains and competition secretaries of recognized golf clubs, sports enthusiasts, sponsors, captains of industry, and other dignitaries. In his address, Nigeria Golf Federation President Otumba Olusegun Rushewe described the summit as a defining moment for Nigerian golf. He said the gathering provides a new window of opportunity for the development of the sport, with particular emphasis on creating better pathways for young golfers.
We must start our golf grassroots development as early as possible. If we lose it now, we may not get it for a long time. And what happened with that is that the National Sports Commission must take note that if we don't support the federations, grassroots development of sport will die in Nigeria. The time is now.
Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Trobel Nigeria Limited, Lawal Garba, who chaired the summit, commended the Federation for providing a platform for dialogue, collaboration and strategic planning. Other special guests, including the Royal Father of the Day, His Royal Highness Obasahid Ademola Elegushi, and former Governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, also challenged participants to develop workable strategies capable of repositioning Nigerian golf.
I encourage all stakeholders to the summit to develop practical strategies that will improve golf infrastructure, expand grassroots participation, strengthen coaching and officiating, and encourages greater involvement of women and young people in the game.
Nigeria, we have the population and we have a well-meaning Nigerians that can support this game. It's just for us to connect the right contact. It's not you don't receive your immediate return on investment. It's a long-time process, but I know definitely we can do it.
For those of you who are today leaders, who are captains, please don't take this game. Take the game seriously. In your state, it will help you facilitate tourism.
Accept my best wishes for successful deliberations, and I look forward to supporting outcomes that will take Nigerian golf to greater heights.
The high point of the summit was the announcement of the return of the Nigeria Open for the first time since 1998. Lakowe Lakes Golf and Country Estate in Lagos will host the championship in December, with Oba Elegushi accepting to serve as chairman of the board of trustees for the tournament, which will bear his name. Outstanding supporters, administrators, clubs and academies were also recognized for their contributions to the growth of golf, with the NGF president receiving special recognition for his efforts in developing the game. Away from the ceremony, technical sessions over the 2 days focused on grassroots development, age-grade competitions and creating pathways for aspiring professionals to pursue their careers. Participants were also taken through the official World Handicap System, NGF identification numbers and other reforms aimed at bringing Nigeria's golf administration in line with international standards.
What I picked from today is that golf is really going places in Nigeria, and we want to get people like, you see, Tiger Woods and the like. They all started out of academies.
At the end of the summit, participants unanimously agreed to uphold new and sustainable standards for golf development in Nigeria, a commitment captured in the communique issued at the close of the meeting. In Abuja, Bade Adeleye, Inter Sports. Quite interesting. Now let's turn our attention to water sports, as Nigeria's canoe sprint team is making its presence felt at the 2026 ICF Canoe Sprint and Paracanoe World Cup in Poland. Two-time Olympian Ayomide Powe-Bello has booked her place in the semi-final of the women's 500-meter canoe sprint, keeping her campaign alive at the championships. In the Paracanoe event, Mary Aloyade Oluwatoyin also competed in the KL1 Women's 200-meter semi-final, representing Nigeria among the world's best para-athletes. The Nigerian paddlers are using the championships to test themselves against the top international competition, with further races ahead as the event continues. And of course, that does it on the news this morning. I want to thank you for being part of it. And of course, there'll be news bulletins at 1 and at 4. I am Bade Adeleye. I'll be back shortly to round things up on AM Sports. Thank you for staying with us.
Target is just right now is just to work in this period with the woman development, and after that with the men's development, because for the competition, because in that case also the coaches knows also about the philosophy of the idea of the works. So to make clear what is the idea, what is the works, and outputting is make them more clear to just what we doing the